Ari Goldwag here. You're listening to the 8th Alei Shur podcast, and we begin the third chapter, Tzuras HaYehudi, the way that a Jew looks. We're going to discuss together how Rav Wolbe understands what a Jew is supposed to look like, or what the foundation of what a Jew is supposed to look like. Yirmiyah, Parak Vav Pasuk Tazayin. The verse says in Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 16, Koyamar Hashem. This is what God says. Amdu al drachim, stand by the way, Re'u v'sha'alu nesivas olam, and go and see and ask people on the paths of the world. Eze derech hatov, what is the good way? What's the way that a person should go? Luchuba, and go in that way. U'mitzai u'matzum argoya l'nafshechem v'chulei, and find that which is soothing to your soul. Hu asher amar Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai l'talmidav. This is the concept. What Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said to his students. He said to them, the mishna in avos, in pirkei, mishna test says, that he said to them, go out and see what is the way which is good for a person, that a person should attach himself to. His students were tanoim, they were awesome, holy people. In this final generation, in this latest generation, so the obligation of trying to understand what is the foundation, what is it that a person should do, or how should a person look. So that's something which is much more foundational, fundamental. Which is to clarify what is the good way. It's not enough for a person to have a general code, a general concept, whatever is good for heaven and good for people. That's not enough. And even less can a person depend on his own feelings. But the cloudiness that is overpowering, and the threatening tishtush, I'm not sure exactly what the word means, but it has to do with the fact that it's unclear. It's coming from every side. It's imperative that a person have a deep understanding and invest a tremendous amount of effort into the learning, clarifying this question. What does a person, a true person, look like? And what does a true Jew look like? A young person who has begun to come to his senses, he's starting to understand things. He's trying to lay the foundation for his spiritual world. He needs to understand, he needs to recognize, he needs to become familiar with 4 sources, which have the ability to build a person, the Jewish person. Aleph, number 1. The first thing is that a person has to have clarity in Orach Chaim with the explanation of the Mishnah Berurah, the Chavetz Chaim's explanation. Number 2, he needs to learn all of the 5 books of Moses, the Chamisha Chumshei Torah, with Rashi and the Ramban. He needs to learn the book of pirkei avos, the ethics of our forefathers, with the explanation of Rabbeinu Yoina. Number 4, the 4th foundational source for understanding things, understanding the way a Jew should look, is the mesilas yesharim, the path of the just, of Orach Chaim L'tzato. It's Penei Chayei HaYehudi Matzeva Shulchan Aruch. The way that the life of a Jew is supposed to look is given to us by the Shulchan Aruch. He says each day a person should have a half an hour time that he set aside to study. It's better if it would be done with a study partner, to learn Shulchan Aruch Orach Chaim. The best way of studying is to go back to the sources in the Talmud and the Gemara. But a person cannot give up no matter what. A person has to study the Orach Chaim with the Mishnah Berurah. Hashem gave special siyata d'shmaya, special divine assistance to the Chavetz Chaim, the ability with this book to give a person the proper education for the Jew of our generation. Besides the fact that the Chavetz Chaim was the last of the poskim in Shulchan Aruch. The foundation of our amunah, of our faith, of Judaism is the Torah. It's not enough to depend on that which we learned when we were children in grade school, that which we learned about Chumash in that time. It's not enough. Specifically, a person who has matured, who has become an adult, needs to learn it well, without skipping anything and without swallowing anything. Let's say a person needs to say every word, every week to say each of the psukim twice, and one time translation. Needs to be done at depth with Rashi. Rashi is Orach Chaim, Rashi b'Chumash, utudakti by kasher tuchal. The Rosh writes in Orach Chaim that when it comes to learning Rashi, you have to try to understand even the finest points in Rashi, how he understands it. Learning properly Rashi requires that a person needs to go back to the source of Rashi, from which Rashi took his explanation. A person always needs to try to understand what caused Rashi to explain it the way he explained it. As is known, Rashi does not bring concepts from the Midrashim unless the simple understanding of the verse forces him to. So a person needs to constantly try to figure it out. What is it in the pshat of the pasuk and the simple understanding of the verse which forced Rashi to bring that particular medrash? The Tzuras Hamidos, when it comes to working on a person's character traits, so our sages placed the ethics of the fathers, the chapter of pirkei avos, into the 6 orders of the mishna, because it includes all of the super categories of the character traits. Like we have a general principle, whenever you have the super categories, there are always subcategories. And the Gra, in his explanation, shows a place, or shows a source, for all of them in the psukim, in the verses. From pirkei avos, we can see, or we know, how a chassid looks, a person who's a righteous individual. Because our Chazal, our sages teach us that somebody who wants to be a chassid, who wants to be a righteous individual, a saint, l'kayim mili da'avos. So, as the Gemara says in Baba Kama, Daf Laman Amar Aleph, page 30a, so the path to saintliness, to greatness, to tzidkus, chasidus here, is by studying the matters of pirkei avos. In chasidus, hihi pe'er hamaylos, shatar mevia alein. Like the Gemara says in Avodah Zarah, on the Chavim Beis, the highest level of that which is achieved through the study of Torah is chasidus. Masechus zayesh l'ma be'iyun, in pirkei harishonim zal. So this chapter, this tractate, Masechus Avos, should be learned in depth with explanations of the Rishonim, specifically with the explanation of Rabbeinu Yoina. The Marik says that there's no explanation, there's no parish on pirkei avos like Rabbeinu Yoina as far as bringing it to the heart, so it should touch a person's heart. Besides, for the foundations of the way a person should behave, which we learn from this tractate. So it teaches us how to approach the words of our sages, who all of their words are like coals of burning fire, as it says in the Mishnah and Avos, the second chapter, Mishnah Yud. To the extent that Maseches Avos accompanies us in our path of our life, so revealed in its words are awesome foundations and the light of the Torah. Now, the dictionary, so to speak, of all of the concepts of character traits in a abridged form is the mesilas yesharim. There we learn about all of the different character traits. Tzuras and the different way that they appear. Because the same character trait can appear in different people in different forms. Also, together with this, in mesilas yesharim we learn about the concept of hisbonenus, of thinking in depth. How do we? What do we need to think about, and what steps do we need to take in order to reach the different levels which Torah brings a person to? The Reb Chaim Volozhin told his student Reb Zundel Misalant, Rabbi Amuvi Shal Rabbeinu Hagoyin Reb Yisrael Salanter, who was the main teacher of Yisrael Salanter, that he should take mesilas yesharim as the book, the guidebook for his life. A person who's young who learns it for the first time, so he could say, what's going on here? He could be kind of surprised. He doesn't really find any great novelties. And he might even see, as he reads the book, that the way that he describes the midas, the character traits, it's overly simple. However, to the extent that a person grows up, to the extent that a person's understanding becomes broader and his knowledge becomes deeper, or his perception becomes deeper, he sees more wonders in the depth and the width of the mesilas yesharim. Admar Ma'or Einenu Ma'or Rabbi Yerucham Zatzal. Rabbi Yerucham Levovitz Hayiraga Loimar, he would say, mesilas yesharim hu atamtsis mikol sefer Ramchal Zal, that the mesilas yesharim is the essence of all of this form of the Ramchal, b'chokhmas haKabbalah, in the wisdom of Kabbalah. So the Ramchal was known to be a great Mokubal. He wrote the Sefer Mesilas Yesharim. It's the essence of all that comes out of Limud HaKabbalah, of learning the secrets of the Torah. I heard from my teacher, Rabbi Yitzchak Hudner, that this is true. So this means to say, the entire Sefer Mesilas Yesharim is founded upon the secrets of the Torah. We could learn the book without even realizing it. Therefore, studying the Sefer Mesilas Yesharim is a preparation for the depths of the secrets or the inner aspect of the Torah. When we learn it again and again, right? Not letting it become just like we're spitting off the words, but rather we're learning it deeper each time. Slowly, we'll be able to find a depth in his words and in ourselves. Someone who has not become accustomed to this type of learning, when he gets to study the deeper depths, the Kabbalah Sfarim, there the inner depths are not hidden from the eye. So if he hasn't had the foundation and the depths which the mesilas yesharim teaches, so he could cause that which is the inner depths to be turned into outer, a superficial understanding. The gate into learning the deeper truths, the Kabbalah Svarim, is through mesilas yesharim. The limudim yisoidim eila chayav enter lahaktish tzumas leiv merubam yom omdei al datoi. When it comes to learning these foundational svarim, these foundational ideas, these foundational books, so a person who's a ben Torah, who strives to be a Torah person, needs to dedicate a lot of attention from the moment that he stands upon his knowledge, literally, but it means when he gets wise, when he starts to think about things. Over 4 years, a person needs to acquire a very clear understanding in all of these books. And if a person is also a ben yeshiva sitting and learning, that a person is also obligated, as he side by side with studying Gemara, Rashi, Tzuras, trying to learn the nigla of the Torah, the revealed aspects of the Torah, so he needs to have this program as well. And a person who does this, so he's promised that he will have a foundation, a strong foundation, when it comes to the way he is to behave, when it comes to his Torah outlook. Thanks so much for listening. See you next time.